It's not about how hot the beat sounds. It's how hot the beat actually feels. You can feel it, then you got something. You know, that's really mine. You know, you hear people say if it gives you goosebumps or you can really react in a certain way. That's what heat is to me.
1, 2, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and NPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host, Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
What's up, Beat Grinders? This is another episode of Beats Grinding Life. I'm your host, Siren Beats, and with us today we have Darrell Digga Branch.
Yo. What's up?
What's up, man? Digga is a legendary Grammy-nominated music producer that has worked in the music industry for almost 2 decades. He has worked with and produced artists such as Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, 50 Cent, Ludacris, Ghostface Killah, Cameron, and many, many more. He has sold well over 30 million units. He is also the author of the popular book, The Beat Game, The Truth About Hip-Hop Music Production, which has been mentioned on this show many of times. Also, to add to his resume, he is an educator at the SAE Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. Yo, what's up, Digga? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I'm happy to be here. What's going on, man?
Man, just
Definitely.
So thrilled to have you on here, man. You're a legend, man. I can't wait to pick your brain, man, and learn from you. And the Beat Grinders, I'm sure they can't wait to learn from you as well, man.
Definitely. I'm here. Let's go.
Okay. Well, man, I just read a brief intro of you, man. I want you to expand on that just a little more, just to let the Beat Grinders know a little bit about you, man.
I'm originally from Harlem, New York City. Of course, you just went through, a lot of the artists that I work with or I produce records for. I'm probably known best for a lot of my work that I did in my early years with a group called the Children of the Corn, which is from Harlem. That comprised of many of the artists that you may know, like Cameron, Mace, Big L, Hurt McGruff, right? So that's kind of where we started. At the same time when Wu-Tang was starting in New York City, in Staten Island, we had our own group, the Children of the Corn. When we after that, me and Cameron started working closely together, and I ended up producing most of the tracks on his first 2 albums. His first album, Confessions of Fire, which I did about, I think, 9 songs on that album. Wow. And his second album, SDE, I did 11 songs on that album. And then me and him got together and we started to form the Diplomats and all of that. And, the system.
Nice, man. Wow, definitely legendary stuff right there, man. All right, man. Well, here on Beats Grinding Life, man, you went over a little bit of your start in the music industry and your career, man. But here on Beats Grinding Life, we always want to know the humble beginnings and where it started from. So, how did you get into hip hop production? What made you want to do this?
What made me want to do hip hop production? I started in music production from my grandfather. He was a music producer in the early 70s. He worked with a lot of groups and mentored a lot of other producers at that time. And his son, which was my uncle, he was one of the DJs for a group called the Disco 4, which was one of the founding groups of hip hop. Nice. Right, so kind of learned, the music game. It was hereditary. My uncle introduced me to hip hop music. So I used to see him, you know, leaving the house with his equipment and the crates of records and turntables and stuff. And he taught me about, you know, listening to other different genres of music, you know, so that's kind of how I got into hip hop production or hip hop music. You know, gradually, you know, I wanted to make my own beats. My mother bought me, you know, some equipment every Christmas. You know, for every Christmas I got something new, whether it was tables, a beat machine, or a keyboard. You know, so that's kind of how I started the foundation of what I, you know, was doing. You know, I started rapping, of course, because that was, you know, I thought, hey, want to rap? You know, that's what they do, you know, and I had my own beats. But I quickly got into more of the production thing as I started to learn more and more. And, you know, me and the rapper Cameron, you know, we grew up together since we was like 6 or 7 years old. So me and him started working together and making little corny raps. You know, I started to more do the production while he was doing the rapping.
Okay. So what piece of equipment did you start off with? What was your first piece of gear?
Well, like the very first piece of gear, like
yeah, man, well, humble beginnings. Well,
the very first piece of gear I had, my mom's actually, you know, Mattel, right? Mattel makes the
toy company.
At the toy company, that's a lot of people don't know. They actually came out. I don't know if they try to venture off into electronics, but they came out with a beat machine that was called a Sonic drum. It was black and it had you know, like 4 circles on it, like you could play it with drums, and then it had little buttons on it where you can actually press the buttons to play beats, right? And you know, that was kind of the first little thing where I can actually program my drums and actually make a beat. You know, and like I said, eventually I started doing that, and I got a Casio keyboard, like the SK1 keyboard. I think that was like the first sampling keyboard that you could buy. And that's how I really started making beats, like literally sampling records that was playing out of the speaker in the SK1 keyboard. And trying to the beat. So that's how I started.
Dope, man. Dope. That's awesome, man. Okay.
Right.
All right, man.
But I did, I mean, just to add to that, like, you know, I don't want to take it too far, but the MPC, Akai MPC 3000 was my first, like, professional. So no, I ain't gonna say that was my first. That's what I started to work on for the majority of my career. But right before, I actually had a Akai S900 rack sampler that I used to feed MIDI up to a Yamaha RY30 drum machine.
Okay. Dope, man. Dope. When did you get your 3000?
The 3000 was probably when it's funny because me, Cameron, and his cousin Bloodshed, we actually got a record deal with a record company called Freeze Records. And this was like in 1996. You know, the record company pretty much bought me a used MPC 3000 because I was using the other equipment to make my beats, and I was telling them like, yo, I gotta step it up, man. You know, I need some equipment.
Right.
So one day they purchased it for me, and the rest was history.
Dope, man. Dope. That's what's up, man. Okay. All right, man. Well, when you first started making beats, man, who were some of the producers that inspired you? Who made you want to do this thing?
When I first started making beats, honestly, it was you know, it was Teddy Riley.
Okay.
Teddy Riley was he was the first to really inspire me, partly because of, not only because of his talent, but I mean, I physically used to be in the studio with him. Like, I seen him, you know, my uncle, you know, he was in a group, and, you know, when Teddy first started out, he was producing music for my uncle. You know, so I actually saw him in the studio making beats, and I went to his house when he lived in the projects, and I saw how he used to live on the first floor in the projects, and his mother, you know, he was so talented, and I know, his mother knew he would make it. Like, she literally let him take over the entire living room.
Wow, nice.
With his whole studio, so he had racks of not racks. He had maybe 4 keyboards and drum machines and everything in her entire living room.
Nice.
And, so when I seen that, I was like, damn, man, that's what I want to do.
That's dope, man. Wow, what a mentor, man. I mean, he's a legend, man. He started a whole new with Guy, and then on his own, and man, started the whole New Jack Swing era, man. Like, man, he legend, man. That's a great person to look up to and be around, man. Wow.
Right. Yep.
Oh, okay, man. Well, you're telling us some great stories, man, and and we know that you've had a great career, and we're here to hail you, man, because you are a legendary producer and influencer in this game, man. But we know that this game isn't paved with roses, man. There's gonna be some hard times, man, and I'm sure that you've had many of them. And so right now I want you to tell us, man, just one story of a setback or failure that you've had that you've been able to bounce back from, man, so maybe that we can learn from them or can learn from it.
Well, I mean, I mentioned Cameron a lot so far because that was my partner, so I mean, when we started, we pretty much started doing music together. I mean, he'll tell you, if you look at interviews and you do the research, I was pretty much the one musically that was doing everything. Like, I had the equipment in my house, and he would come to my house and we would work on music. So we had a relationship, and that grew into a professional relationship, because when we both got deals, he got his record deal and I got a production deal with the same company, Entertainment Records. But, as you get older, you start to grow, you start to learn, and different things start to, change.
Right.
And, like I said, we pretty much started the Diplomats together, like the whole Eagle Diplomat logo or something. Like, that was my concept. You know what I mean? That was what I did. And, that was the plan.
Right.
But as we started to just grow, it was like on the business level, we kind of had a falling out. Like, the certain things that I felt like we should do, he wanted to go in a different direction or handle it different. And so, right before he actually came out with Come Home With Me, his album, and he signed with Rockefeller Records, that's when I had to, make a decision whether I was going to, stay with this situation or if I was going to leave, and do my own thing, So I decided to leave and do my own thing because I felt like that was the best for my career at the time. But things weren't looking up, and I didn't feel right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So during the time, that was a rough decision. I'm pretty sure, people watching this right now is like, oh, that's Cam started Dipset and, they popped off and whatever, and Digga left. Well, that's true, Digga left. But at the same time, I was able to still do, my thing. I ended up not producing all of the records for Dipset, and Cam, but I went on to produce records with Jay-Z, with 50 Cent, with Jennifer Lopez, Ghost, Usher.
not bad.
Right. So I didn't have my career still, went forward, even though that was like a little trying time for me.
That's dope, man. So you were definitely able to bounce back from that, man. That's cool. Right. I want to know, man, how much, if any, did it hurt watching Dipset and watching the Diplomats do their thing?
Nah, it didn't hurt. It just, it was just kind of, I mean, honestly, like, everything was kind of planned. Like, again, like I said, the whole name, Diplomats, that was something that we knew we was going to bring forth. And I knew Cam was going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it was like, well, I'm kind of one of the reasons why this was started, so I used to, think about that. I'm human. Right.
At
the same time, I never really felt like, I never hated or never felt like, that I wanted them to fail, because, it was something that I was still part of.
Right.
I'm still part of it today.
Right.
You can't erase me from the history. So, I didn't feel bad about it.
Okay. Nice, man. Nice. All right, man. Well, thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate it, man. And I think that it just lets everybody know that, regardless of how things happen, you still have an opportunity to grow from that. Both parties, both sides. So both of you guys had careers that flourished even more. So nice. Okay. All right, man. Well, now we can hop to the other side of that, man. We don't want it to be all dark and gloomy. That's not what it's about here, man. So, now we can talk about, the good times in your career. So I want to know what's the best or what's the shining moment in your career thus far, in your opinion?
Honestly, I mean, it's probably, out of a lot of things that I've done in my career, this might shock people, but the release of my book, The Beat Game,
nice,
is probably one of my proudest moments in my career, because it it took me a minute to do it. It was a goal that I set. Honestly, it was something that I didn't think that I would be able to do. It's one of the first things that I actually did, actually wrote a book and broke it down and tried to get all of my thoughts out. And I still haven't got, all my thoughts out. Like, I'm actually working on the second edition right now. Beat Game. But the Beat Game is actually one of the things that I'm most proud of, outside of, being nominated for Grammys and winning Songwriter Awards and selling a lot of records. That's truly one of the things that I cherish.
Wow. Well, I can definitely understand and see why, man. I mean, you've touched many people with that book. I personally have it myself, and I definitely go back and flip through it, man. I mean, you have so much information to help producers in that. And it's been mentioned on here whenever I have producers recommend a book to other producers. That's definitely one of the ones that's brought up the most, man. So yeah, I want to say thank you definitely for writing that, and I can't wait to read the second installment.
Right. Cool, man.
Nice, man. Okay, man. Well, I know that you're doing your thing, man. You're a great producer, and actually, I know nowadays it may not be all just about production because you have so many things going. But I want to know, man, what does a typical day look like for you? Because here at Beats Grinding Life, we believe that if you follow greatness, you will become great. So maybe we can model our day after yours. What does your day look like?
Typically, a typical day is when waking up, 5 and 6 in the morning, and seeing, honestly, like getting ready for my wife's getting ready for work, and I'm getting ready for work myself to actually get ready to do some music.
Nice.
I start fairly early, in music. And then, I work on music for hours, pretty much up until, 12, something like that. And I teach my class at SAE Institute in Atlanta.
Nice.
Excuse me. I teach a music business class there, and the class is from 2 to 5:30.
Okay.
So it's a 3.5 hour class, 4 days a week. I'm usually there 4 days a week from that time. But so between, I'm in Georgia right now, so, Atlanta traffic and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of adds to the time.
Right.
But, I'm working on music. I'm going to SAE to teach my class. Then I'm on my way back home to do some more music, or, spend some time with my family, or, interviews, or doing some type of business, writing, whatever it's going to take to actually do something creative. That's kind of what my schedule is for the most part, if I'm not traveling or having little studio sessions. But again, even the studio sessions are not really frequent as much, because a lot of times, we're not doing stuff in physical environments like we used to.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds like a well-balanced day, man. I mean, you mixing a little bit of everything in there. You got family time, you got time working on music, your job, and a little bit of everything. That's what's up, man. But one thing that I definitely take away from that is that you're working on music. You know, that seems to be the main thread throughout the day. So that's cool,
Right.
man. Okay, man. Well, this portion of the interview, man, I like to call In the Studio. You know, I mean, I wish I could be down in Atlanta making beats with you. All the beat grinders, they wish that they could be down in Atlanta making beats with you. But, man, your house probably just isn't that big to hold all of us. So the next best thing is this portion of the interview, man, where we find out what you do in there. So you ready?
Okay.
All right, man. Well, I want to know, what's the first thing that you do before you start crafting beats? Do you have a set ritual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, actually, I have to get something to drink.
You said it's it's early morning, so is it usually coffee or something to wake you up?
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. You're right. Depends on what time of the day it is, but in the morning it's usually coffee. Probably in the evening it's something a little harder than that. You know?
Nice.
But yeah, you know, that's always my co-producer.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I have to get something to drink, just get comfortable. You know, I usually dim the lights a little bit, and sometimes I may load up some beats that I worked on a day before, you know, just to listen to them and see if I have ideas, or I may really start off, you know, with something, you know, fresh, depending on what mood I'm in, because if I'm trying to create some original, then I'm probably playing around with some chords or looking for some sounds. And I spend a lot of time doing that first until something actually hits me.
Okay.
But if I'm sampling, then it's like, you know, now I'm looking through records and I'm, you know, playing around and really just searching through samples and trying to find something that's going to get me started. To give me enough energy to start. Because, you know, you can literally sample off of anything.
Right.
You know, to really hear something that's going to make me spark me and get me motivated to have fun doing it.
Right.
Tell a story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right, man. Well, what's a not so secret weapon that you have in that studio?
A not so secret weapon. Probably not so secret weapon. I don't know if it's secret, but believe it or not, like I use depending on if I'm using original stuff. One of my secret weapons. I'll give you one of my secret weapons. Is actually my collection of old drum machines sounds.
Nice. Okay.
That's my secret weapon. Definitely, you know, it's funny that people sell drum kits, and I have sold drum kits before, but it's like, honestly, for me, I don't buy drum kits like that. I'd rather go back to find the old drum machines.
Nice. And so do you sample all the sounds and put them like on a hard drive, or you just have all of your drum machines already plugged up and ready to go?
Well, yeah, it's a combination. It's like I have a folder of, drum sounds that were either sampled or some that's, I guess, somebody probably created, maybe, on a, like, I don't know, like Korg. I have a section with Korg, all the Korg drum sounds, and I don't even know, honestly, who put them together. If they're from Korg or if they've been sampled into, but I got a collection of a little bit of both, but I try my best, especially with some of the friends that I know that actually have some of those drum machines. I try to get them to sample some. Okay. Because it's like that sound and that feeling.
Yeah, man. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what's up. Well, Beat Grinders, he definitely let you know one of his secrets. Maybe you can maybe you can, I don't want to say steal, but I mean that's not the word I'm trying to say, but definitely use some of his ideas and maybe go back and try to find some old beat machines and get the sounds, because I mean we're always buying sound kits, and I mean sound kits and drum kits, and that's cool and all, and I love them. People are making some really great sounds, but at the same time I don't like having sounds that everyone else has, you know.
Right.
So yeah, go out and find some sounds that everybody's not using. So
Right.
okay, all right, man. Well, I want to know what's all in your toolbox, what's all in your arsenal these days. What do you have in your studio?
Right now I'm working on I have the MPC Renaissance.
Nice.
Use that for sampling. Software based. I'm using Reason. You know, I have Pro Tools as well. On the plugin side of things, again, you know, like I'm one of the old heads. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at I'm using all of the old synths. You know, I have the V collection, the Arturia V collection that I use a lot.
Nice.
You know, that has all of the old synths in it. So that's mostly what I'm using for the most part.
Okay.
You know, I have you know, Native Instrument stuff, but I honestly I don't touch a lot of that stuff.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, you guys heard it from Digga. I mean, he's made some classic material, still making classic material, and he didn't mention very much. You know, it doesn't take a lot to create a classic sound. So, all right, man. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, man. Well, this next portion of the interview I like to call In the Mix. We're going to speed things up a little bit. It's kind of like rapid fire, but at the same time, I want well thought out answers. So if you need to take your time answering a question, man, please do, man. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Do you prefer making beats with samples or without samples?
Today, without samples.
Okay. Has that changed because of the cost of sampling?
Not really. I mean, really, it's all in my mood right now. You know, where I'm at musically is not where the samples are right now.
Okay.
But you never know. I mean, it's a production question. You know, it's like if I'm working with an artist, you know, that I believe needs that sample-based sound, and you know, and I kick into to gear. But for right now, as far as me making tracks blindly and just trying to create something new, there's no sample.
Okay, dope. What's your opinion on selling and leasing beats online?
I'm beginning to. I mean, I had mixed emotions about it before. I didn't like it. Now I kind of understand it a little bit more. I just think that hopefully there should be more of a technical side to it added now, because you know, I just feel like, you know, now, you know, music is going to get to the point where you're going to be able to trace where all this stuff is flying around the web at.
Right.
I mean, just think about it, you know, like the technology is already out there. They have music DNA and all of those different things. You know, so, you know, some entrepreneurs should get together and try to figure out a way to actually do that, because at the end of the day, you know, we need to start generating money from this, from the music, and not just from the lease aspect, but from performance aspect of things. Like, so now once somebody leases your beat, they have a beat, but it's like, now how do you monetize it? You can't, no way to find out really where it's used and all of those other things. So.
Right. Yep, definitely lose. I mean, yeah, like you said, you leased the beat, but now you're losing out on money that you should be getting.
Right.
Yeah, right. For sure. Okay. All right. Well, what's a plugin that you think every producer should have in their arsenal?
Oh, plugin. In their arsenal. I mean, again, I like I said, I use the Arturia the V collection, man. I think it's dope. You know, I mean, so it's there. It's, you know, it's there to it gives you the ability to kind of, for me at least, have the same approach that other producers before me had to create that new classic sound that you may be shooting for.
Right. Dope, man. Dope. I know I have a couple Arteria keyboard plugins. I don't have the whole V package, but I have a couple of them, man. And I love them. I use them all the time. So I can definitely see why you named that one. So okay, man. Well, I will be putting Beat Game in the show notes for all the producers. In case they don't have it, they'll have a link to where they can get it. But right now, I want to know a book that you think producers should read besides one of your own.
A book that producers should read is probably well, I know you. Most of the producers, I know you had to read All You Need to Know About the Music Business.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Passman, that's like definitely a book that all producers should read for sure.
Okay. Awesome.
And not to have a shameless plug, but my book, The Beat Game, was kind of modeled around that book because I wanted to simplify some of the stuff from that book, to kind of get you right to the point. So
right, I can definitely see that, man. It's like Donald Passman's book is a large umbrella over all music, and I feel like yours is an umbrella over hip hop. If that is that accurate?
Yes, that's very, very accurate. That's why it's called A Beat Game, because I like basketball, and I wanted it to be like kind of a playbook, because I realize, I'm gonna be honest, like probably most producers are not going to read it straight through. And if they do read it straight through, they're not going to really comprehend everything. So I want to break it down to different parts so that when you are thinking about, when you do have questions, you can instantly grab the book and kind of go right to it and get it.
Nice. Yep.
Just, living with it for a while.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's one of those books that, if you're on your grind, you should probably keep it in your backpack so that way you have it as a reference and you can always pull it out and look at it and know what you're facing or what you need, what questions you need to be asking, what you should be looking for or whatever. So dope, man. Okay. All right, man. Well, I want to know, is there an internet resource that you use and that you think all producers can benefit from? And when I say internet resource, I mean like a website or a mobile app.
That's a good question. Mobile. Like what? Give me an example, because I don't really.
I'll give you an example of some that other producers have mentioned. Some producers have mentioned Splice. I don't know if you heard of that website.
Yeah, heard of Splice.
Some have mentioned YouTube. The app that hasn't been mentioned, but I think every producer could use, is Evernote. It's a note-taking app.
Right.
So those are a few that are examples.
Yeah, I like Evernote. I actually like. I like the app that I use for my Instagram, which is crazy.
Nice.
What is it called? The Pick, Play, and Post app.
Ooh, okay. I never heard of that.
Yeah, I like that Pick, Play, and Post app, which is just allows you to synchronize music to your images and upload them on Instagram.
Nice. Right? Okay.
So I think that's good. Because a lot of times you need to kind of set the stage for the music that you're playing. You need to get the visual looks. Right. So if you upload stuff on Instagram and different places, sometimes you need to, not just put a cover or something, really put a piece of art that really kind of captures the feeling of the music that you're trying to convey.
Dope, man. I'm gonna look in the App Store. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but I'll look for it tonight. So that's what's up. Thank you for that recommendation, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, I don't know if you know this or not, man, but they just announced that all the faces on Mount Rushmore are going down. And the dope thing about it is they're putting producers' faces up. Now, they gave you the duty of putting the producers' faces up there. What 4 producers are going up on Mount Rushmore?
4 producers that are going on there for me is, again, Teddy Riley, Barry White,
Nice.
Isaac Hayes, and DJ Premier.
Wow. That's a dope mix right there, man. And 2 of those people have not been mentioned on here before. Teddy Riley has, Premier has, of course. But
Right.
Isaac Hayes and Barry White, man, that's dope. And I think that a lot of people, I mean, of course I knew that those 2 were producers, but I always think of them more as artists, and I never really think about the music that they produce. And apparently, I mean, obviously they produce some pretty great music, man. Wow,
Man.
that's a dope 4 right there, man. Wow.
Yeah, you definitely, watchers, the viewers of this podcast and listeners need to definitely go research and check it out, man, and just listen. I mean, again, a lot of the samples are actually coming from some of those producers.
Yep.
Back White, and again, it's all about style and feeling. That's the thing. Those are the 2 things that I would recommend to producers. It's not about how hot the beat sounds. It's how hot the beat actually feels. You can feel it, then you got something. That's really mine. You hear people say if it give you goosebumps, or you can really react in a certain way. That's what heat is to me.
That's dope, man. That's dope. If you guys take anything away from this interview, I think that would be it right there. It don't matter how hot the beat is. It's the feeling that matters, man. So okay, well, man, thank you for that. Another gem drop, man. Where I'm picking them up. So, all right, man. Well, I want you to imagine, man, that you were in the perfect studio session, and I'm sure you've had many of perfect studio sessions in your time. But we're gonna go a little out there. I want you to imagine that you just woke up from a dream, and in that dream you had the perfect studio session. And in that session you have one artist, one producer to co-produce along with you, one engineer, and one random person. Who are those 4 people gonna be?
Give me that list one more time.
Yes, sir. One artist, one co-producer, one engineer, and one random person.
And one producer would probably be, oh man, probably gotta go with Ted again, man.
Okay, nice.
Probably gotta go with Ted again. That'll be the co-producer. The artist will probably be, I don't know, maybe let's go with want to make something classic, so maybe I don't want to do somebody, I don't know. Well, let's go with I'll go with somebody safe. I'll go with maybe let's go with Beyonce right now. I'll go with Beyonce.
Okay. I'm liking where this one's going. What about for engineer?
For engineer, I'll go with Guru.
Nice.
Guru. Right. And and you said an extra person?
Yep. Random person.
A random person. Probably if it's me and Teddy and Beyonce making some magic, Guru on the boards, probably just have I don't know, I'm looking in the room. Well, I would say Prince, but he's no longer with us. But
that's all right. That's all right. Dead or alive, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cool, man. That would be awesome, man. I mean, because Prince is not just a random person. He's also an artist, a producer that can add to that, man. And so you got 3 producers up in there, and I mean, wow, man, that would make a dope song, a dope EP, a dope album, whatever, man. I would love to hear that, man. So, okay, man, that's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, I want to know, and I'm interested to know this, man. What is your favorite song that you've ever produced?
Favorite song that I ever produced? Probably a song that maybe your viewers may not know, but it's a song called "Losing Weight." From by Cameron featuring Prodigy.
Okay, nice.
You know, users can look that one up. Yeah, that's my favorite song because it was one of the songs that you know, it still it's critically acclaimed. You know, if I do say so myself. I mean, a lot of underground people know it, especially from the track. I remember when I first made it, and you know, I think DJ Premier, you know, he was blasting it like he was on the radio in New York DJing, and he was like, "Yo, this new record is crazy."
Wow.
You know, and this was when it first came out. So at that time, you know, that was like Premier, you know, my track. So I was open on that. But you know, yeah, that was actually one of my favorite ones. You know, I mean, I'm, you know.
Wow.
People that know about my career probably have different ones. But
was that on SDE?
Yeah, that was on SDE.
Okay, nice. That's what's up. Okay. All right, Beat Grinders, man. You guys, if you haven't heard that, definitely go look it up, man. All right. Well, what's an album besides one that you worked on that you recommend that every producer listen to, and why?
Oh man, an album. There's so many. For the producer aspect, I mean, damn, you can grab anything from Gangstar. It doesn't even matter. Now, I would say, I'm trying to pick, something current, at least.
Okay.
That really.
It doesn't have to be.
I know. I'm just like, I mean, because it's just so many albums that, like, I mean, just the approach is just different. Like sonically, you can listen to anything that Dr. Dre does.
Right.
It's like you can listen to how the mixing, how each song is kind of, mashed together. Album that I haven't produced. That's a tough question. I'm really kind of stuck on that one, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I mean, I like the answer you gave about Dr. Dre just because sonically, though, I mean, I think all of his albums are great reference albums. If somebody's mixing their beats and they want to know what their beat should sound like, definitely you can refer to anything that he's done. So, okay.
And I would even, when we talk about sonics, this is kind of weird. People think I'm crazy about this, but the same way you listen to a sonically, created album from Dre, you can listen to the sonics from a Wu-Tang album.
Nice.
And it's like the total opposite, but it's still the same feeling. Like it's still raw,
right?
Like rhythm, you know what I mean? Intentionally created this album with a analog, soft, raw feel,
right? That
adds to Wu-Tang's overall sound.
Nice, dope. Okay, nice. Well, thank you for that recommendation. How excited are you for the new Wu album?
I'm pretty excited, man. I'm honestly, I want to hear what they come up with. I mean, any of the older artists, I'm rooting for, because that's one of the things that I'm really like passionate about right now, is just trying to keep the old, the more mature artists, I should say, keep them making music, so that we can have, a category for our generation.
Right. Nice.
Because there's in battle, there's always this whole old head and young head, and you're kind of the old generation and the new generation going back and forth, and I feel like it's all silly because this is how it's always been. The younger generation likes stuff that's relevant to them.
Right, that's true.
But
yep.
The older generation should be creating music that is made for their generation, and I think that's kind of where we are going. We are going a little left. Is some of the artists that are getting older feel like they need to make music for the younger crowd.
Right. Yeah, so, I just wish that older people like myself. I grew up in the 90s and definitely grew up on your music and Wu-Tang and everything else that came out in the 90s. But I want everybody to support. Because like you said, they're not making music. They shouldn't make music for the young people. And so if everybody that grew up on that music can still support the people that they grew up on, then, the older artists shouldn't have a problem, financially or whatever it may be. I want the older artists to be able to be like Rolling Stones and all the other rock groups that are still able to go on tour and sell out stadiums,
Right.
So,
exactly.
All right, man. Well, I want you to stay in this imaginative mode, man. I want to know if you woke up tomorrow and you lost everything that you had, everything except for your knowledge and $1,000. So that's even your contacts and everyone that you know. What would you do in the next week to restart your career?
To restart my career, if I had to take that $1,000, trying to find a way to get a computer and MIDI controller, get reason and get to working. Get to working and start making some music, and eventually, the first thing that I would do is try to. You said that I don't have my contacts, or I would have to read.
Yeah, you just don't know anybody. The reason why, this question always kind of, not always, but it throws people off. But where I'm trying to get at is, just for some of the new people, just for some of the younger people out there that want to get into production, or, there's been people that have lost everything due to theft or hard drives crashing or whatever. Just kind of give them an idea, or just an idea of where to start off.
Well, I would definitely take the money and try to get my setup straight.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Gotta get creative. So get my music right, and then that's when I would try to start networking with new people.
Nice.
Try to start with working with people that I feel that will be able to get my music out there.
Dope.
That's kind of the thing. It's like, that's what I tell, aspiring artists and producers as well. It's like, you do have to be selective with who you work with, because you need to work with people that you believe in, and people that's going to really push your music out there.
Nice.
Not just do the whole saturation thing where you're trying to just get beats out to everybody and just brush your fingers.
Right.
That's not work.
Right, dope, man. That's great advice again, man. Your time is limited, and you spending time making beats for somebody with a small following just so they can play music for their pothead friends. That's not going to get you anything, and that's a waste of your time. So.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. All right, man. Well, thank you for that, man. You've been doing this for a while, man, and your legacy is pretty much already set, but it's not set in stone. So I want to know, when it's all done and said, man, when you're ready to hang this thing up, man, which will probably be never, but when your music career comes to an end, what do you want your legacy to be?
I just want my legacy to be that, you know, I mean, that I always stay true to who I was, who I am, and the music that the music that I created was for music purposes, and not just for money making purposes.
Nice.
Right. Just leaving a legacy behind that, or a legacy in a catalog behind just progression as well. That's where I'm at right now in my career. I mean, I've been doing this for over 20 years now, and I feel like I'm starting over again.
Wow.
And so I feel like that's cool, because now if I'm starting over again, then I'm treating it like everybody else listening to me right now.
Right.
I'm still grinding. I'm still trying to bring something new to the table. People still want to hear me. Don't want to hear me. You know what I mean? And it's true. On my level, just because I produce for a lot of artists doesn't mean anything. That doesn't really, it helps me, with my resume per se.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that doesn't convince, 50 Cent to work with me again.
Right.
Jay-Z to work with me again. Like, at the end of the day, it's all about, what do you have now? What type of music do you have? They're not worrying about what I've done before.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Well, that's dope, man. I'm glad to hear that. You're not just resting on your laurels and not just keeping your resume tightly close to you and just depending on that. You're in the grind just like everybody else. So.
Right.
Okay, man. All right, man. Well, we're just about ready to wrap this interview up, man. But before we do, man, I want you to leave us with one more gem, man. I mean, you've given us so many during this interview, man. But if you can just tell us the greatest piece of advice that you've ever received, and the greatest piece of advice and the best piece of advice that you have for all the beat grinders listening today, man, that would be great.
I guess the best advice that I can give you is, I kind of said earlier, is, just creating music that is based on a feeling, you know what I mean? And kind of sticking with that, because when you think about it, if you base your music on a feeling, then whoever else listens to it is going to have that same feeling. And that's what you want. You know what I mean? Like, you, at the end of the day, we make these tracks and you hope people like the tracks, but I mean, you're trying to get a reaction out of them. And that's the first thing to me that you can actually do, is that if you create the track with a feeling, then you halfway there.
Right. Dope.
And I just feel like that's where it is. And I think, to me, a lot of the music that is out today, I like it and I get it. Some of the stuff I don't like, everything else. But that's one of the main things that's really missing with what's happening today, is the actual feeling. Right. Like, all the music has the same feeling. Like, literally every beat, trap beat, has you in your head like this. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get to it from it.
Right.
That may be fine. That may be the new wave. But,
just kind of need something to shake things up a little bit.
Right, just something to just switch it up a little bit so that you can find your niche in the game.
Right, dope. Well, thank you for that, man, and thank you for this interview, man. Really appreciate all the knowledge that you've given us, man, and we'll definitely take it and use it, man. If you have any more words for the listeners, if you have anything that you want to let us know, anything that you're working on that we should be looking out for, and how to contact you if you want to be contacted, man, please let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly working on music. I'm always looking for new artists to work with. Again, I told you I'm working on the second edition of the Beat Games. You can contact me on Instagram. My Instagram is 6figure. That's FIGGA _Digga, 6-figure _Digga. And you can, hit me up there. Yeah, and I mean, you can find me, Google me, do some research about me, figure out what's going on. You can see what type of, what I put into this game. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, I do interviews and stuff, and it's like people, just now learning about me, and then they're like, yo, how did I not know about him before? And it's like, it's cool because again, the producer branding is separate from the music, and that's kind of what I also want to tell people as well. Like, you can brand yourself as a producer and have the name, but at the end of the day, there's still a music element to it.
Right.
Over my career, I think I've been good enough to do the music element to it. The branding is really not all the way me all the time. And I'm
nice, man. Well, thank you, man. Once again, thank you for the interview, man. Really appreciate it. You dropped gems, man, and Beat Grinders, I hope you guys appreciate it. And that this show is kind of like a mentorship. And this week you've been mentored by Digga, so you guys consider yourselves lucky. So, all right, y'all. Well, keep grinding. Man. Yeah, thank you, man.
Grinding.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.
Here at Beats Grindin' Life, we want to thank you for listening to another episode. We want to know, what were your biggest takeaways from this interview? Just go to beatsgrindinlife.com and leave a comment on this episode's show notes page. Also, while you are there, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just click the little button that says subscribe. If you could, please leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews are the best way to show your appreciation because it helps more people find out about the podcast. So until next week's episode, keep grinding.